Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of New York Giants Football Talk. Yes, we are keeping that spooky music for the rest of the season because it's been a spooky season for sure for the Giants. But for a 2-8 team, I'm happy. I know my co-host and my brother from another, Mr. Paul Rosen's happy. Paul, how are you doing tonight on this happy day for Giants fans?
First of all, good evening, Kenny. Good evening, everybody. I feel like I just received the biggest present under the Christmas tree, and my tree isn't even up yet. That's how happy I am. Listen, we've talked about this. It finally happened. We'll get into it in a couple of seconds, but of course, if you haven't heard, Brian Dable is no longer the coach of the New York Football Giants, and I would find it hard to believe for any Giant fan not to be ecstatic at this point. Um,
Yeah.
Let me just say one more thing, Kenny. Totally separate uh, topic. Uh, Tomorrow is Veterans Day. Just want to say uh, thank you to all the veterans who have served this country, helped us be the country we are. Today is the Marines' 250th anniversary. Next year, we'll celebrate the other anniversaries of all the armed forces. So, thank you, veterans. I have my veteran Michael Strahan jersey on today. And if you do see a veteran, go up, thank them, tell them thank you for their service.
Yes, I want to thank everybody as well, Paul. Thank you for saying that. Uh, I want to thank a couple people dear to my heart. My dad served, rest in peace, and my friend Sharon, she's on. Her brother's up in heaven too. Thank you for your service, Jim. Appreciate you. Uh, Always a good friend. Uh, couple hellos along the way here, Paul. Before we get started, uh, Michael Ronquillo, everybody's friend. Good evening,
Hey,
Kenny and
Michael.
Paul with the blue and white hearts. Friend Keith Brugman, we did a morning juice show today and we talked about the Brian Dable fire in a little bit. Go check us out
Hey,
on the
Keith.
Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We did a nice show this morning on the morning juice. Kurt saying, turn that frown upside down, boys. Kurt's going to join us on the phone around 7:45, 7:50 after we get a couple things in. We got him set up for a couple minutes with us. And very good point here, Michael. And this is dear to your heart, Paul. Send prayers to Broncos Alex Singleton after he got surgery done for testicular cancer.
Oh,
Expects
my.
to return this year. He went un, he went to on front to his coaches and teammates, brought the news to them. So
Oh,
he's
boy.
up front. He brought
My,
the news,
my
but
prayers.
he's doing good. Yep.
Good. If
Uh,
I can,
we'll get
Kenny, I'm
Keith's
sorry to.
question in a second. Yeah, I just want to get one more in, and then we'll
Sure.
continue. David Burns watching from Cedar Hill, Texas, and he's sorry about the Bears winning over the Giants.
Thank you, Kenny. I would be really remiss if I didn't mention Luby's uncle. Unfortunately, served in Korea and did not make it out. So, uh, thank you, Uncle Mike, and we really are sorry.
Yes, and I don't know if Sharon heard. I mentioned her brother up in heaven, Jim Carney, uh, up there as well, served as well. So thank you everybody for your service. Veterans Day, big day tomorrow. Thank a veteran, and support your troops. Uh, all right, Paul. Let's get into it.
Yep.
The news was broke today after another loss in thousand ways to lose. Like there was that show. I always say, thousand ways to die. The Giants found a thousand ways to lose. Another fourth quarter collapse with less than 4 minutes. 96% chance of winning that game. But we lost it again. So, with enough's enough. Giants ownership decided to make the move, and Brian Dable out the door. Like Kurt said, this and that, and about turn the frown upside down. So we'll get into it, and then I got a question from Keith after you talk about
Okay.
why what led up to this firing.
Yeah. Listen, Kenny, we have discussed this 2 weeks ago after the second debacle fiasco against the Broncos this year. Actually, the third, but significantly the second. We talked about on our show what coaches could replace Brian Daboll, and it came out that the Giants were this close for firing him after the Broncos game. He got a 24-hour reprieve, and lo and behold, what happens? The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting to get a different result. And we saw what happened yesterday. But if you give me 2 minutes or a minute, I'm going to go down and itemize all these things about Brian Daboll. And if anyone is out there to tell me that he should have been retained, I would love to hear that. So, as you indicated, blew double-digit lead on the road for the fourth time this season. Okay? That tied the longest road losing streak, 11, for the Giants in their long 101-year history. Since 2023, the Giants have had a record of 11, 33, and 1. Since 2024, the Giants have been 5 and 22. Overall, Brian Daboll's record, and don't forget, the Giants won his first year, got into the playoffs, won a playoff game, was coach of the year. His overall record, 20, 40, and 1. That was his winning percentage, 336, is the 18th worst in NFL history for coaches over 50 games. 18th. And you know how many coaches there have been in NFL history? Against the East, we always said we had to beat the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Commanders. 5, 17, and 1. This year, Giants were outscored in the fourth quarter, 108-68, a 40-point differential. You think blowing 4 leads in the fourth quarter, that had any reason to do with it? As you indicated, the Bears, 96.9% chance to win. So basically 97% chance the Giants to win. The Broncos, 99.8%, almost 100% chance the Giants would win the game. They lost. Against the Cowboys, 94.6% win percentage, chance to win the game, probability, lost to the Cowboys. And as I said, they were leading the Saints 14-3. They lost that game. Yesterday's game, Giants are up 17-10. They have the ball on the 1-yard line. They couldn't score. What do? They kick a field goal. Wait, there's a yellow flag, a penalty. What happened? The Bears had 12 men on the field. The Giants take the penalty. They would have the ball on the half-yard line, 4th and goal from the half-yard line. What does Mr. Wonderful Brian Daboll do? No, we'll settle for the 3 points because our defense was playing wonderfully. Yeah, right. Instead of a touchdown, and you tell me a coach who doesn't have confidence in his offense, his offensive line, who actually happened to be playing very well in the second half, doesn't think they have enough opportunity and motivation to score from the half-yard line, for crying out loud? Crazy. Maybe if they called timeout, thought about it, coached, got the coaches together, Russell Wilson together, talked about it. No, none of that ever happened. We'll take the 3 points. Constant missed assignments by players. Every game, you saw it. Constant lack of effort. I don't want to use the Q word, but you know what? In some of these games, they almost looked like they were quitting. Constant lack of discipline, resulting in so many excessive number of penalties every game. They're one of the top penalized teams in the NFL. He refused to coach his boy, his quarterback, Jackson Dart, how to slide. He only said, well, he could slide on third down, but I don't want him to slide on first and second down. Well, you know what? Here we are. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 concussion tests since preseason on your rookie valuable quarterback. Thank goodness John Mara said enough was enough. Get out of here. We don't need you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, well said. Well said. I want to jump ahead because we're expecting Kurt in a couple minutes. So I do want to jump ahead of what we had on our agenda because I know Kurt's going to want to probably talk about who the next head coach should be. But why don't you tell us why the guy on your list is number one? And we'll get our rest of our list later.
Okay.
Tell us who your number one is, and then when Kurt comes in, we can piggyback off of that and talk about that for a few minutes.
As I said, we had a discussion 2 weeks ago. We were before most people, most shows, most written press about changing coach for the Giants. We listed our 5 people. My number one person, without a doubt, and I'm even more positive that this is the guy they need to bring in, Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick arguably is the greatest coach in NFL history. He loves the New York Giants. You can ask him. He would tell you he would come back in a nanosecond. The guy who else is going to bring more respectability, more credibility to this now irrelevant organization? The Giants were one of the storied franchises in NFL history, regardless of what's going on the last 12, 13 years. Them, the Bears, the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Packers, those were the foundation teams in the NFL. You bring in Bill Belichick. Do you think the players are not going to play for a guy who is a Hall of Fame coach, a coach who actually is in striking distance of getting the most wins as a coach in NFL history, passing Don Shula? Seems to me he was able to work with a young quarterback once a few years ago. You think he'd be able to work with Jackson Dart? I think so. You think as a defensive coordinator who orchestrated 2 Super Bowl championships as defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, you think he'd change this defense in a second? I think so. There's no doubt in my mind that you bring him back. I read something a couple of weeks ago that said he would leave North Carolina. He'd pay the buyout, the $1 million buyout, and he'd be back in New York coaching this team. He's the only guy I would want. Obviously, now we need to talk about, Joe Schoen, and he's leading the quote unquote search. But you tell me that Bill Belichick would not be the guy to lead this team back into relevance in the NFL?
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I will say he's 74 years old, though. By the time he coaches next year, he'll be 75. How many years does he have left that he's going to want to invest in coaching? That's the only thing I'll say. But I'm 100% on board with bringing him in for sure. While we're waiting for Kurt, let's hit a couple questions that were asked.
Let me just say one thing, okay? Not to cut you off, Kenny. People are living longer. Seems to me the leader of the greatest country in the world happens to be a little older too. That's not slowing him down. And I think this guy will, if he was to be hired by the New York Giants, he would bring a fresh attitude. It would breathe youth into his life. And I'm willing to let's put it this way. I'll take my chances with his age versus someone younger. I'll look at it as he's experienced.
All right, and we're talking about experience. Let's bring in Kurt. Kurt, you there?
If you guys hear me, how are you?
Hey, Kurt.
We're good. Welcome. We're just talking about
Good
Bill
evening.
Belichick, maybe, Paul's top replacement, my top replacement, but I am concerned about the age a little bit, if he's in it for the long term or just a couple years. That's the only thing. 74, he'll be 75 next year.
Well, first off, I'll tell you guys this. First off, happy Veterans Day to everybody tomorrow. I heard you say that, Paul. So,
Thank you.
number two, I'm babysitting for the escape artist because Bo now just escapes out of crates. So I'm waiting for Jen to get home. But I'm going to say this, and I'm not even going to get into, because I'll be 5 minutes. This is your guys' show, but I'll just be real quick. I'm not going to get into what happened. It's over. It's done. The move had to be made. But Paul, I'm 1,000% with you. Just go bring this guy home. I mean, I look at it like this, and I'm going to put it really close to my Broncos. We were the embarrassment of the NFL 3 years ago on Christmas night, and we played the Rams with Nathaniel Hackett, and it was a joke. People were fighting. They got rid of him the next day, and they couldn't go in and we're going to get this offensive young. You had to go get an adult. You had to go fix stuff, right? Yep. And that's what Sean Payton did. And you know what? Listen, I say this in all facets of life. Listen, we say it with the president. We say it with a boss. It's not about, I need a Mr. Nice Guy. You need somebody, I don't care how he delivers it to you. I don't care how he gets it done, but I want to win. You guys have such an attractive job, right? You guys have the defense already in place for him. You have your quarterback. Now, here's the thing. People are going to say, go give me, Cliff Kingsbury. Like what Dable was doing, it's reckless. The guy got checked 4 times for concussions. You don't win like that. You don't. You win defensively, running the ball, and then you tell your quarterback, hey, be special for a couple of plays, right? And listen, your guy could do that. You guys have, Scatterbo might be a little, that injury is going to be not, 100%, but you got the defense right now, and you put this guy in charge of that defense. I'm telling you now, are you the Eagles? No. You're better than the Commanders. You're better than the Cowboys. Just with him in the building. Just with him walking in that building. I'm sorry. I'm doing it now. Who else, if he doesn't want it? A John Gruden, a McCarthy. You need an adult. You need somebody that's going to say, this garbage is going to stop. We're not doing this. And I'm telling you, just with Sean Payton, he changed the culture instantly. And then once that culture changes, now the wins come and the wins come and the wins come. We can't beat Kansas City. We went into Kansas City. We should have beat them the last 4 times. But we went there. We punched them in the mouth. There's no more. We're afraid of that. That don't happen anymore. Yeah. Why? Because of Sean Payton. So me, Kenny, I'm not worried about age. I'm going to be honest. I can't look at the age because listen. This guy is the best coach in football. He got his name in your building with what he did with that defense. And you know what? The Giants are a defensive team. And you know what? A no-nonsense guy. When you guys won Super Bowls, you won it with Parcells. You won it with Coughlin. You don't win with the McAdoos. And no. He's out there. Go bring him home.
Well
thank you,
said,
Kurt.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Couple people saying hello. Yep. Kurt, say hello to your fans.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm serious. Don't the shiny toys don't mean put this guy with Jackson Dart. No. No. Keep Jackson Dart out of the tent. That's what you got to do.
You think? We'll get into that.
Seriously. Think about it. He did this with Josh Allen. And you know what? I know Kenny said, I'll be honest with you. Josh Allen developed more with Joe Brady. He became a better quarterback. We don't run him 14 times. You don't win like that in football. No. That's garbage. That's fantasy. Go get Bill Belichick, boys. Enjoy the rest of your show. Oh, sorry, Kenny. Go ahead.
No. You know what? Hold that thought. We'll talk about maybe some other candidates later on in our show. But thank you, Kurt. Appreciate you coming on. I know you were high on Belichick, so I wanted to bring you on tonight for a couple.
But you know what, guys? This shouldn't be doom and gloom. You should be happy.
We are.
I know.
Kurt, I said this is like Christmas Day without my Christmas tree up. I found my biggest present. Absolutely.
And you know what? Like I said, but I'm going to say this. You guys cannot. This is why this is so important. It was important getting Sean Payton. Money shouldn't matter because you guys, not again, you
Yeah.
have to fix it for your reputation, but
Mhm.
you guys can become contenders. You put Bill Belichick, I guarantee you're in the playoffs next year.
Yeah,
Guarantee
Yeah.
you.
without a doubt.
So,
Without a doubt.
all right,
Thank you,
boys,
Kurt.
enjoy the rest of your show.
You as
Thanks,
well.
Kurt.
Enjoy your night. Thank you for hanging out with us for a few
Thanks.
minutes.
Say hi to
Appreciate it.
Jen.
We'll